the water's going that way, rotate it, and it's done that drain. This drain goes outside. It does go up and go out, but it's meant for discharge. Yeah, because you're trying to blow the water out as fast as possible. And once I shut this, the whole rest of the building stays live. So this again, like I was talking about in the basement, but
Is it, I mean, on the basement still, I will.
Yeah.
Not the whole building.
the second floor and third floor are independently controlled just like this.
Okay.
So if I was to shut just this, because I want to serve something having done one, the basement's still on, the second's still on, your third's still on.
Okay, so that's just for
Yeah,
the
it's,
first.
the building has to be a lot smaller, to have just one system. These guys, if the system was to ever build up a little bit too much pressure, again, when you go back down to city water, you're gonna be 60 pounds, yeah. Right now, that's only because that pump's in the basement. So you're not gonna have a ton of pressure.
So the minimum, so you're looking at around 120, 130 PSI for the pressure at all times?
Yeah, when you see that, that's like 130, maybe 1.
Okay.
So again, that pump will rotate, do all its own stuff every day, you really gotta mess with that. Obviously, the only thing that would give you trouble is if you lost power, and that's just
Great question. If I lost power, do I have to reset anything, or are you going to come back on your phone?
No, right now, you don't have to reset nothing. Once the power is restored, that pump will turn right back on, right where he belongs, right back up to pressure. And that's the reason you don't have a generator mirror rotors, because your fire pump is diesel. It doesn't start off electric, it starts off with batteries like a car.
Yeah.
It only has an electric panel to charge the batteries. So again, first floor here, I can walk you up. They all look just like this. You're gonna have this valve,
And like,
this flow switch, and this breather. So just like the basement, water shoots up, it's going somewhere, doing something in here, that's gonna go off. And all those whistles, you want to shut this and open that. When they do your annual testing, this has 2 settings. This has one for the drain, and then if you rotate it one more notch, it turns a hole in there to represent a sprinkler head, and that's how they tell if that's doing its job or not. It's obviously going to go off if I have a pipe this big rolling. What they're trying to figure out is they're going to go off when I have a hole that big rolling, which is the size of the sprinklers. So,
And you guys do this too, right? The service?
yeah, we do. We're one of only 2 companies, and they go all the way from a fire extinguisher all the way to fire pumps to 10 heads to 10,000. So we do.
Okay.
We service, inspect, everything.
Okay.
And I'm assuming we'll still be involved with the fire pump. I mean, we have that.
Yeah.
If they do something, we'll have to come back and do
You have a
something.
part in it too?
I don't have everything in my van, but I can get everything to Patty.
Yeah, please. Well, I want to get
So if you say if you go all the way around, it's for the sprinkler head, so water comes out once you, wherever the sprinkler head is at?
Yeah. So in a,
So that space has to be vacant to test these things, right?
No, so what happens is, right here, this is your testing. The inspector, when he comes out, he's gonna have a guy at the panel. He's gonna rotate this around to the big hole to where it's draining. Then he's gonna rotate it one more time to a hole about that big. And then he's gonna time it. And then this has to go to alarm within a minute and a half.
Gotcha.
So you don't see no water, no testing, and it's not like
It goes to the drain.
one head independently goes off at a time. It doesn't have a whole.
Not like-
One head, one fire,
Really?
2 heads. Yeah,
Not
it's
like
not.
movies?
No. There are deluge systems, but you don't have.
Yeah, I know.
Movies, man.
So,
Movies
yeah.
got me.
Movies are fun.
Die Hard, you know?
Yeah.
Bruce Willis going downstairs.
So, not like a basic. That cover is soldered on with a very specific temperature solder. So at 100 degrees, that cap, that red lens is going to fall off of the floor. It'll melt right off. The little deflector will drop down, and then if it gets another 30 to 40 degrees hotter, the head fuses and goes off. So these are important. You don't paint them. You don't caulk them to the ceiling. You see how if you're looking from here, you can almost see the gap.
Yeah.
That gap isn't. It's not that we didn't tighten it up. That gap is what the manufacturer has. So that's how the heat gets above it to melt the solder. They're very, very, very specific to where. So if you see a guy. No caulking them, no painting them, no can't touch them. If they wanted a different color, the factory paints them, and then they resolder them, and they do all that, so I can get any color you want. It's just that the factory does it. We don't do it in the field either, nothing. So those discussions are in the basement. There's some more of those covers. If you need more, you just call them, we'll have an hour, mail them to you, whatever.
So right there's the fire alarm then, since it's so close to one another?
Yeah, so that one's electrical, one's mechanical, so it could be 2 inches. So like I was telling you, see that device hanging in the ceiling? All right, that thing will be flashing. If that red device over here goes off, you're gonna see a whole row of horns and strobes. There's another one there. I think they're every 75 feet, don't quote me on that, but the whole building goes off. So that's why it's important to make sure you put it in bypass, you know, on the job site too, on the location. So other than that, this building doesn't have a whole heck of a lot. The gymnasium is the tallest part of the building. You have to service anything in there, obviously, the equipment and stuff, but it's, that's a bigger issue than you guys probably mess with everything. Other than that, that's Mary Rose from Immaculata, a smaller one, that's your stuff.
No new plugs this time, huh?
Yeah, so, major situation, you get to the basement, independent floors, get to the floor, in stair 3, and it's on that. It's on that pictures there, so.